is Dates and Mates with your host, Damona Hoffman.
Hey. Welcome to Dates and Mates. This is the place where we are going to demystify modern love and give you the tools and the tips and the techniques that you need to be successful in romance today. I am so excited for today's show because I have a guest that will be joining me in a little bit. Someone I did a little pre-tape with because she's not in LA all that often. And she was here. She was doing Access Hollywood and all of this great media. And so I snatched her up for the Dates and Mates show to bring her to you. Rachel DeAlto, who you probably know from Married at First Sight and Kiss Bang Love and Married at First Sight, Second Chances, and so many other great shows, is going to be in studio with me. And I will show you her interview in a little bit where we discuss flirting, dating after divorce, and so much more. Plus, she's going to tackle your questions in technically dating, including long-distance love, how to make it work, and can you fall in love just a few months after a traumatic divorce? Is it possible? Can it happen? Could it be happening for you right now? Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, we're going to hit the headlines. I have the juicy scoop on Chris Pratt and his new romance. Yeah. And we'll discuss another new summer dating term to keep your eyes and ears peeled for. It is summertime, my friends, so I got to keep you in the know on the dating terms. And summertime also means sexy new reality shows or creepy new.
We've got a doozy for you
today.
Yeah,
we have an interesting new reality show to discuss with you that just premiered this week.
This Monday, I believe. But
this week
it
on
has
ABC.
The internet a storm.
All right, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's hit it with the headlines.
Dee's Dating Dish.
There was an article, Producer Thomas, that hit today that said Chris Pratt has really been basically single since he divorced from Anna Faris last year. Mm-hmm. Anna Faris, I guess that's how she says. Well, she spells it like Anna, so get with the program. So, I first of all, I don't know how he would have any time to date because they do have a son, and so he's trying to be a present father. Mm-hmm. And also, he's basically been working nonstop.
Movie.
He's been in every movie.
Every blockbuster.
Which I will say surprises me, even as a former casting director. I was like, oh, he's fun on Parks and Recreation. Yeah. But I did not see him as the ginormous leading man movie star that he's become. But kudos to him.
He buffed up. He's got the looks. Why not, I guess?
Here's what I like about that. Because, like, for a woman can't be a leading lady unless... she's working out 3 times a day and on a restrictive vegan diet. And so now I like it that the guys are getting a little taste of their own medicine. Chris Pratt needed to chisel up.
Yeah, had to chisel
Has
up.
to keep it together if he wants to keep doing Jurassic Park, Jurassic World 75 or whatever movie is coming up next for him. Okay, let me get to I buried the lead here. Rumor has it, Producer Thomas, he's been seen out on the town with none other than Catherine Schwarzenegger. You can probably guess from the last name that Catherine is the daughter of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but also the daughter of Maria Shriver, and legit could be her doppelganger twin. Like they look so much alike.
Arnold has another daughter as well, right? I think she looks also very much like her mother.
Yeah, Catherine is the oldest, and she's 28. Chris Pratt's 38.
Chris Pratt's 38?
Yeah.
That's crazy. He looks young. Good for him. Younger.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
It's like when people say, when people find out my age and they're like, "Oh my God, you look so good." And I was like, "What am I supposed to look like?"
Yeah, right.
I'm just a skosh older than Chris Pratt. But I'm not on the market, so don't even worry about it. So they allegedly went on a picnic, which is super romantic, and try to play that off as just a friendly
they look like
gathering.
They're into each other.
And he picked her up. He picked her up for the not date or maybe date. I don't know, but it looks definitely like something might be going on. She's got a good life. She's an author. She's a published author, and she's also a blogger. She has a lifestyle website where she gives tips on things like she has something like she's selling like the Mary Kate Time-Wise Miracle Set 3D that will brighten skin and prevent aging. And I'm like, girl, you 28. But I guess maybe that's how you get to be like this.
Right, exactly.
In 10-ish years.
10-ish years.
So she's also an ASPCA ambassador. And I guess Chris likes animals if he did Jurassic Park.
I suppose. He might be kind of scared
Jurassic
of them,
World.
considering.
Yeah. So I think this could be a match.
Yeah.
She's a little. She's on the blonde side too. Maybe that's
Maybe
his
he's
type.
into that. Yeah.
Maybe he's into that. I don't think it's a natural look. It's gotten lighter over the years, as has mine.
Yes.
Okay. Not throwing any daggers here
Right.
at the fake blondes.
Uh-oh.
But there's something other than fake blonde that's coming out this summer. Have you noticed also? I have a little bit of
Get
freckle
the freckles,
action.
they're popping up, yeah.
How does that happen? Well, it's when the summer comes out. So the summer
sun comes
When
out.
the sun comes
Yeah,
out
so
in
do
the summer.
The freckles.
So do the freckles. And there's a new dating term that is associated with that, freckling. I always have to keep you in the
Yes.
know so you know how to use the words and how to use them in context. This is a term coined by AskMen.com. Freckling means casually getting involved with someone over, the long,
The summer.
long summer
The
nights.
balmy nights.
Oh,
Yeah.
the summer
There we go.
nights. And then when autumn comes, kaput.
Kaput. Then it's cuffing season.
Yeah, it's not. We don't even get May, December
Right.
romance. We
That's
just
right.
get
Bada
May.
bing, bada boom.
We just get June, July, August. You're out.
Yeah.
So that's what freckling is. It's basically like the opposite of cuffing season. So cuffing in the fall, late fall, people start to think about
Trying to get
partnering
shacked
up.
up.
Yeah, here summertime, everybody's thinking about singlehood. By the way, happy summer solstice.
Oh, happy
Producer
summer
Thomas.
solstice. Thank you very much.
Happy summer solstice to you all at home. I hope you guys are ready to go for the summer. I think summer is a great time to date. When I was single, I always did quite well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That
and
was your time to shine?
that was my time to shine. And my clients do quite well in the summer too. I don't do as much coaching because people are like, well, I got this. But then when you're ready to move into the relationship, that's when things
Yeah, I think I guess it's just the general lack of like huge holidays. Like in the fall and winter, you have Thanksgiving and Christmas, which have like a whole atmosphere to them in terms of like finding long-term love. Whereas the summer, have fun, go out, grab a nice breezy drink, meet someone new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good advice, Producer Thomas. Spoken like a true dating
Yes, a
coach.
true dating expert.
Yes, and I encourage you all to go and just have fun this summer. So as you're having fun, you might get your popcorn, you might get a glass of wine. That's how I do it. It's
Popcorn and
like
a glass of
popcorn
wine.
and some Chardonnay and
Nice.
sit down in front of the
There
TV
you go.
because it's reality TV season. And always over the summer, you can expect a big reality TV
Mm-hmm.
launch. And ABC has been trying to crack this the next Bachelor nut
Yes.
for a long time. And I don't know, Producer Thomas, maybe they've done it. Maybe.
I don't know.
The Proposal, which is on Monday nights on ABC, is pretty much like The Bachelor meets Married at First Sight on speed with
Yes.
Chardonnay and popcorn.
Yeah, there were certainly, I think, substances involved when they conceived this show. This is crazy, Damona. I've seen the pilot to The Proposal 3 times. Each time is even more entertaining than the last.
Wait, before you go on,
Yeah.
Producer Thomas, because you're a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're in a relationship, but usually you wouldn't think that the bubblegum dating shows of the summer are really young men's fare.
That's because
why are you watching this 3
because
times?
this is crazy. This is the wildest thing I've ever seen on TV. Do you want to introduce the premise, or should I?
No, you're on a roll,
Okay.
my friend.
So The Proposal is kind of structured around. So there's the person who's proposing. I guess the proposee is like the contestants don't see them, so they're behind this like. They're in essentially like a cage called the pod. And so it's just this mysterious voice. And so there's 10 contestants, and you essentially compete in challenges to see who gets to be proposed to live, having never met the person who's proposing to you.
Live on stage.
Live on stage. So the first round is just literally just a runway walk pretty much of where they introduce you. And then
Wait, can we talk about, though, how one of the girls is a roller derby girl,
Yes, we
and
can
they made
absolutely
her
talk
walk
about
down the stairs?
in
I mean,
roller
like,
derby shoes.
imagine, what's the Suitcases one? The Suitcases reality show with Howie Mandel. Remember the
not Prices. Oh,
the
what's
one
it called?
you win like you'll
Oh,
win.
shoot! Why am I blanking on it?
That's so bad
Yeah,
that we
I
can't
don't
remember.
know.
But you know
But
which one
Howie
I'm talking.
Mandel. The Howie Mandel one.
You know, on the big staircase,
Yeah.
it was so unnecessary for me to even go there because it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with what I'm going to say. But it's like that shiny floor kind of
Right.
game show, and they have the long staircase. Imagine trying to walk down a staircase like that
in roller
skates
Yeah.
and a dress.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she has to walk down, and like you can tell, she's like, "Please don't die, please don't."
Oh, well,
die,
it took her
please don't
forever, too. It was like a super awkward pause because she has to like take it like half an inch at a time in her roller shoes.
And then she gets to the bottom and does a pirouette.
Yeah.
And like almost
Yeah.
wipes out. Poor girl.
Poor girl. But
Hey, all in the name of good reality
Yeah.
television.
So, but they
And
all-
wait, I'm sorry. I have
Okay.
before you go on. Also, the introductions of the contestants.
Yeah.
Like couldn't
Be worse.
be worse.
It's like one sentence that's not a flattering fact, really.
I couldn't tell if they were really going for trying to
If
make
they were
you laugh
making
or like
fun of them. Or
they're like, this girl's 30 and she loves to party.
party.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's wife material.
Cool.
This one in high
Yeah.
school was called Drama Queen.
Yeah.
This
We
what
got
is
a
it?
baton
Got-
twirler, I think. Oh, yeah. One of the intros is she got dumped on New Year's Eve. Like, why is that what you would want to open?
Do not put that in your
Yeah.
Tinder profile, please. If you're thinking of like, don't put anything
Yeah.
about any breakup in your Tinder profile. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's round one. They like
Well, it's crazy. So they essentially just walk out and do like a little runway turn, and then he has to eliminate 3 of them. So just based
Then
on
3 of them
looks
are gone.
alone. Then like the next round is a swimsuit round. So everyone just comes out in a swimsuit, which is like kind of weird. And then they have to say like a personal fact about them that's like kind of like weirdly like intimate. And then his best friend comes on stage and asks questions, and then there's another Q&A where he gets to ask them even like more personal questions. And so in the space of an hour he eliminates 8 women, and then the final one you finally see who the bachelor is, or not. Yeah, I guess he's a bachelor in this case. And then he proposes to one of them live on stage after having asked them maybe 7 questions.
do we know anything about because presumably they didn't just film this yesterday or
So,
Monday.
We don't see his
We
face,
don't see
but
his
there's
face.
like a little intro. So this one was a cop in Bakersfield with a missing leg.
Yes, he had a
Yes.
motorcycle
Yeah.
accident. It's not a spoiler. You find out like
Yeah,
in the first
that's
3
like the
minutes.
intro.
But do we know if these proposals stick?
Yes, who he ends up proposing to, and I won't ruin it because truly, listeners, you should see how crazy the show is and watch it. But the person he proposed to and him are still together.
Wow.
Yeah,
See, there's
I mean,
hope for us yet in love.
I guess it worked, but I don't know. It's a really wild premise.
It's basically like Tinder.
Yeah, but I
dating
just like
show.
who would want to be on it? Like it's just so. It just feels
People,
weird.
Thomas, people need love in today's world.
Is this the way to
Are you
find
not
love,
reading
Damona?
the news?
Is this the way to find love?
I mean, I wouldn't go
Yeah.
on it, but people really need companionship,
Yeah.
and this is, I guess, this is where we're
Where
at.
we're headed. But,
Next Monday, appointment viewing.
Oh,
I'll
I'll
see
be there.
you with
Yeah, I'll be
Chardonnay
there.
and popcorn. I'll see you there too. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to share my unforgettable interview with Rachel DeAlto, flirting, single parent dating, so much more. Stick around. I'm your host, Damona Hoffman, and we'll be right back. Hey, I have a secret for you. Everyone gets bored in the bedroom from time to time. And whether you're single or in a relationship, there's a way to spice things up at adamandeve.com. They have one of the largest catalogs of adult products around, from lingerie to things that go buzz. Adam and Eve has just what you need to revitalize your love life. And my friends at Adam and Eve have just the thing for you, a secret bonus. I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you you're going to love it. And your partner will too, if you have one. Best of all, you can order online at adamandeve.com, and they will ship your items to you in discreet packaging, so the neighbors will be none the wiser. And if you use my promo code, shipping will be free. So go to adamandeve.com and enter the promo code GIFT21. You can get something for him, something for her, something for you both. And you will get a total of 10 free gifts if you use my code, plus free shipping. So don't be shy. Live out your fantasy at adamandeve.com using the offer code GIFT21 at checkout. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to my special guest, Rachel DeAlto. Here's the lovely lady right here. She is a relationship expert, coach, hypnotherapist, and TV personality. You've seen her on Lifetime's Married at First Sight, as well as FYI TV's Kiss Bang Love, and on Lifetime's Second Chances. She is a former attorney, something you might not know about her, and she's also a single mom. She's given 2 TEDx talks, one on the power of kindness and another on killing fear, which we'll be talking about a little bit today. And she has another one that's coming up this fall. She's here to talk to us about working through rejection in dating and relationships. I know that's a hot topic that a lot of you need some advice on, so please give big smooches to my guest, Rachel DeAlto. Hello, darling.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here,
I like
letting
the
us
smooches.
smooch you.
I mean, who doesn't want to be smooched by you?
Well, I know a lot of people want to be getting the smooches.
Yes.
But this is summertime. This is when a lot of relationships are kind of coming to a close and everybody's like, I want to be single for the summer. I want to just like do my thing. And so there's probably people at home that are dealing with rejection in relationships. And I was hoping you could give everybody a little bit of advice on how to handle that. You know, when you're out there at the club, you're trying to talk to somebody and they're like, oh, not you, boo.
Not you. You know, I mean, rejection sucks. Can I say sucks?
You can say whatever you want
Good,
on the
'cause I
Dates and
already-
Mates
I
show.
already said it.
You can't say the other Ux word.
Oh, that's not fun. All right. Totally going into appropriate mode. It's such a part of dating. And that's the thing that I think people need to realize. One, not everybody needs to like you, which I think is really difficult for some people to hear. We think that if we put ourselves out there, we should be, received well. And the fact of the matter is, this is why they make mint chocolate chip and Rocky Road ice cream. Because some people like mint chip, some people don't, which I think is wrong because mint chip is the best ice cream.
Some people like to swirl it together.
They do. They're
That's when you
crazy
get
though.
like me.
But I think it's part of, you just have to realize that rejection's a part of dating. It's a part of it, and it's not always personal. So a lot of times, and we've talked about this, I know you've talked about ghosting and things like that, where people are rejecting you, and it could be for a million different reasons. So the first thing with rejection is making sure that you realize that they could have a whole other thing happening in their brain than I don't like her or him or they. It could literally be, I'm not in the right place. This isn't the right environment. It's not the right time. I have another person that I've been dating for a while and I want to see what's happening with them. It's not necessarily like, I don't like your face.
And it's probably not, I don't like your face. Because a lot of times I hear this in relation to swipe apps especially. Like, well, he said he liked me and we mutually matched and then I never heard from him again, or we had one date and then what happened?
Yeah.
So it's, I think, important to keep in mind the whole scope of what could be happening in the dating world for that person and for yourself.
100%. And the rejection on apps of not getting a reply or not getting swiped, that's not rejection. I don't consider that rejection at all. Rejection to me is more so, and I get how people could feel that way, like where did that person go? Rejection is, I've gone on 6 dates and they decided not to date me anymore. And that one, I think, hurts a little deeper. You have a little bit more of a connection. You have more of hope built up. And that's really what rejection does, is destroy any hope that you had. And when you're not getting a reply back on an app, I always think, and maybe you share this opinion or not, where there's a lot of people on there that aren't serious about dating.
Totally.
So they're just interested in getting the ego boost of you liking them. They're not really interested in following through on it. So you're not going to get a reply. Or they're already off the app because they don't remove their profile. I'm pretty sure my boyfriend still's on Bumble.
What? Okay, wait, Rachel, we got to do something about that.
But it's not intentional. But I know so many people, they'll delete it from their phone but not delete the account.
Sure.
So the account's still there, and you could have ended up matching with someone that swiped on you like 3 months ago.
Right.
And they're not even there anymore. So you're taking it personally when it has nothing to do with you.
And I always say you have to treat those messages, those initial messages, like coins in the fountain.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making a wish, you toss in a penny, and if it comes true, you're like, great, I got a wish.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come true, like, are you really going to sit there and cry over a penny?
I like this set it and forget it mindset on the rotisserie. So I think of chicken.
This is the analogy show.
Yeah, this is all metaphors all day. But you just set it and forget it. Like, do it and then forget that it exists. And if it comes back and does something and builds something that actually results in a date, go for it. But that's not rejection.
Okay, but I'll tell you, I work with a lot of high-powered women. I know you do too. And I consider myself a feminist dating coach. So I'm all about empowering women. And I think one of the great things about online dating apps, is that it really does level the playing field, and it allows you to approach the kind of men that you'd want to date. Not just like whoever rolls up on you in the bar and is like, hey girl. You can really be the selector. But I hear from a lot of women that they don't want to send that initial message. It sort of upsets the balance of what they think romance is supposed to be. And then they get overly rejected when they don't get a message back.
Yeah.
What's your philosophy on that?
I think it's ridiculous. Sorry, ladies. I think the fact that you can't send a message, and it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. It's not like you're pouring your soul out to this person. You're being like, hey, I really like your T-shirt, or, something having to do with their profile that's so minor. And I hear that a lot too. And here's the thing. It's so much more empowering when you're taking control of the situation. Doesn't mean that you have to take control of the entire relationship, because I'm a feminist person as well.
Hey.
And I think, and feminist person? I was like, is that even a thing?
I'm a feminist, non-gender specific
person.
Feminist individual.
But I also believe that there's a beautiful dance that happens, especially in heterosexual relationships specifically, of the masculine and the feminine. And I like the kind of combination, the dance, and I like a strong man. So I'm not going to lead the entire relationship, but sending a message and counting that as being the aggressor is just ridiculous, because most of the time men love that. They're tired of kind of throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah. And
another metaphor.
There we go. Let's see. We got chicken.
Spaghetti and chicken.
Spaghetti,
I'm currently really
ice
hungry
cream.
all the time. Oh my God. All of mine are food related.
And I'm talking about coins in a fountain. Okay, but let's bring this down to the reasons why people are feeling that rejection.
Yes.
Because let's face it, it's all about fear. It's
100%.
fear, like, if I send the message and he doesn't like me, then what will I think of myself? Or what if the relationship even happens and then we break up? Some people go that far down the road with the fear. And
5 years later.
You've done a TED Talk on killing fear.
Did.
Tell us, how do we kill this fear?
First of all, you do it anyway. You have to just do it. And I think that's one of the things that I've seen make the most impact in people, especially in the dating space. I had a client the other day. She was at the grocery store. She saw a guy that she thought was cute. She looked at him for 2 seconds. He's looking at her and smiling, and her entire body just goes into this fight or flight mode, and she flies. The girl flew. Didn't look back, was like, what's going to happen? What if he actually talks to me? So what I said to her, the next time that this happens, and it happens all the time, and I know you see this with people too, where there's a possibility of meeting people all over the place, but we don't take advantage of it. So part of it's you have to just push through it. You have to do it. Feel the fear, do it anyway. So the next time, I was like, I'm not going to work with you anymore. I'm not gonna be your coach. If the next time you don't exactly follow the opposite of what your body is saying to do, which is stand there, smile back, see how they can connect with you, and give them the space to do it.
Yeah.
And
that's important.
And rejection, I get that. You're afraid of what's going to happen, but what if really amazing things happened? So there's always the perspective change.
Yeah, and you have to be willing to face that fear and to feel it. I think we're kind of conditioned to move away from any emotion almost.
Anything that doesn't feel good. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah, but even sometimes feeling good. It's the fear gets to be bigger than the possibility of there being a good outcome. But I want to talk about techniques for attraction. So you obviously did something right with that client. If the guy's checking her out in the grocery store, she's feeling good. She's feeling herself a little bit, but the fear came over her and killed it. But there's something in being able to be your authentic self and letting that be what attracts you. I hear from a lot of other dating coaches, it's you have to be more feminine and you have to do your hair like this.
Bull,
that's bull. Okay, Rachel said it's bull. Tell me about your philosophy on authenticity in dating.
I think, and this comes from a lifetime of changing myself to be something different and realizing the impact that it has on my self-esteem, and just me from, just a microorganism in this whole stratosphere of people. It ruins your self-esteem. It ruins everything that you feel about yourself. If you are trying to be someone else to attract someone in, you might as well just, smash on your confidence yourself, which we don't need to do because we have the rest of the world to do that for us. So I am all about kind of this take it or leave it approach, like the zero sucks. Because if you don't care what people think of you, to an extent of like not putting so much emphasis in, I have to find my dream person. If you don't care about, knocking off all of those boxes, you get to a point where you kind of get to a place of, this is who I am. This is what you get. And in a loving way, not so abrasive and aggressive. But you get to be yourself, and then you get to attract somebody who actually likes you for you, as opposed to let me pretend to be somebody else until 6 months later when it's so freaking exhausting to be pretending to do that,
Right.
the relationship falls apart.
Yeah, and you want someone also who's going to be attracted to the real you. Like this idea of I have to get hair extensions and lose 10 pounds and become this dateable person. Really, eventually in the relationship, all of that is going to fall away. And then what are you left with?
And wouldn't you rather be rejected from the start instead of living a false relationship, likely falling for this person or having true emotions for them, and then getting rejected because of who you are? That's going to hurt.
Yeah, we're just too addicted to this instant gratification and the likes on social media and all that. That I think we want that in dating too, but that's not real. We're talking about real relationships. And there's so many excuses that people have. Like maybe it's I'm too heavy, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I don't make enough money. And for some people I know it's I'm divorced, I have kids, and I know you've been through that too.
I have.
Can you talk a little bit about dating strategies for single parents?
So one is rejecting all of those ideas that you're undateable. And I think so many people think that after being divorced or having children, that all of a sudden now you have so much more baggage than the rest of the society, which is total BS. Everybody has baggage. Mine are just humans as opposed to emotional baggage. I think emotionally I'm pretty put together. So part of it is just changing your perception, because how we think about ourselves and how we think about our situation is what we're going to put out there.
Right.
So if you go into a date being like, I know, I have kids and I'm divorced, and making it such a negative, where anytime that I met somebody, I would say, I have 2 awesome children and I'm happily divorced. We're all in good places. Everything's, great. It changes the way that they perceive that situation, as opposed
Right.
to what am I dealing with? What am I getting
Right.
into?
They're like looking for the baggage. But when do you introduce that? Like I always say, your kids do not have a place on your dating profile.
No.
That's where you're starring. I love it when guys will like borrow a baby.
And you're like, not
They're
my
like,
baby.
not
And
my
I'm like,
baby, but look how good I
why
would be
is
as
the
a dad.
baby there? Yeah, exactly. Like
To make you
don't
look
steal a baby
fatherly,
to
yeah.
make you look good.
But at some point, you have to reveal that you have kids. Is it
Yeah.
just then on the date, like you just said, or is it before that point?
I always say you can put it in the profile in writing. Pictures are not necessary. Like they don't need a visual of what their immediate family is going to look like. But I think just also putting it out there, like there's nothing to hide of saying, hey, I have 2 kids, happily divorced, or 1 kid, or 25 kids, however many kids you decide to pop out.
25 might be a deal breaker,
25
but
is a
you got to be
lot.
authentic.
Hey, listen. I mean, there's a lid for every pot. Back to food. But I think the more honest you are, absolutely on the first date, we're not going to hide it for 3-4 dates and then have this big bomb dropped, because how is that supposed to build trust and your authentic self with this person? So, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No, of course. And
Somebody has a problem with kids, they're going to have a problem date 1 or date 5.
Exactly. You better get it out of the way. But for a lot of single moms, they've made their life really about their kids. And I think they have trouble. Then you get to the date, and what do you want to talk about? Your
Not
kids.
your kids.
You want to talk about your
Yeah.
kids, but you should not do that.
Not in the first couple dates. Obviously, as you get into a relationship, it becomes very natural. I talk to my kids all the time. But I think in those beginning stages, they're falling in love with you. So who is the person when all those kids leave, because all those jerks leave you at some point, when you are alone together, who's the person that they're still going to be with? And that's really what you need to focus on, is talking about you. And if you don't have any idea of who you are, which happens a lot, especially I see this with moms. I work with a lot of women after divorce and have dedicated their lives, raised their children, and then all of a sudden they're back in the dating pool and they don't even know who they are. Figure that out first before you go there and kind of flail around trying to figure out who you are on these dates. So get some hobbies, figure out what you're interested in now, have a purpose, and then be able to share that.
And then did you have like a dating schedule? Like when I don't have the kids, then I can have dates. How do you fit that in? Because I'm a mom too. It's like a very busy lifestyle.
Abandon them.
You just leave
Just
them.
leave them on the street. Sometimes I gave them food. Sometimes I was like, you guys are good now. I had it was a very different position that I was in. I'd never had full shared custody, and their dad actually passed away. So now it's all me all the time.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. But it's okay. But I still had 99% of the time. So I never really had a break. So, which was always interesting, and also why I dated a lot of long distance, because it was easier to take a week and leave, every couple months than to be out twice a week. But
expensive to be out
Yeah.
twice a week. Babysitting is expensive.
Oh my gosh, I got a babysitter the other day. It was like $85 for a couple hours. And I'm like, why do people leave the house?
That's why I'm like, you need to know if you're dating a single parent, like you better make that date worth it, because we are
Amen.
investing a lot in you.
Exactly. It is investment. So I think you do have to kind of pre-qualify more. And I think apps are awesome for single parents. I think the fact that dating is so accessible, which is a problem for some people, and the fact that there's always someone better out there in their heads. But the accessibility of not having to spend all of this money, not having to leave your kids every night to go to a bar and hope that your perfect person shows up, it really does I think offer a lot more for single parents.
So
I'm all about
the headline is, this is a great time to date. Dating
Yes.
apps are thumbs up.
Yes, amen.
And food analogies.
Food is great, and apparently I say amen a lot. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
That is
Great to
not
meet your audience.
That is not everything about you, and I know you have a lot more advice to give. And you mentioned long distance dating. I know we have a question from a listener coming up in that, and we have a lot of other questions. So let's roll on into that segment right now. And these questions are provided by our partner, the Techspert app, where you can get crowdsourced advice for your drama, and you can download it for free in the App Store. Okay, Rachel DeAlto, who, by the way, you can find online at racheldealto.com or on all of the social medias. I love following your stories at Rachel DeAlto. It's spelled RachelDealto. Okay, you brought up the long distance thing, and
So
I know we
ready.
have a question on long distance relationships. So I'm gonna get into this. This is a young lady who says, I've been texting this guy for a while now, and I'm not sure on his feelings for me. I keep getting mixed emotions. How can I tell if he likes me? And then here's the parenthetical. Through text, because he lives a couple hours away.
Okay, a couple hours is nothing. Why haven't they met yet?
Is
So
he a
here's
catfish?
that's the thing. I don't understand. Don't have these long, drawn out text relationships, right?
Yeah, I agree
Talk
with you.
about rejection. First of all, it's gonna hurt like a mother if you get there and you really don't like their face. You just have all of these expectations created into it. So I don't really care what he's texting. What are you doing together? Like, are you getting together? Are you progressing this relationship? Stop texting.
Yeah, completely.
Go have coffee.
And I think the mixed emotions come in when you have a certain expectation and then you realize you don't really even know that person. You haven't gotten offline. And maybe she has this whole fantasy created in her head and he's not making the effort to come the few hours to see her.
I mean,
That's not
few
really a
hours is
relationship.
Really, come on. A few hours is like LA traffic. So there's no reason why they shouldn't have met already.
Okay.
I have mixed emotions about them.
This is a question that's sort of a different shade of long distance then, because we actually had two. So this one is from a young lady from California. She says, my boyfriend has gone away to visit his family in Paris for 3 months.
Nice.
Summertime, people are taking a little hiatus.
So jealous she didn't go with them.
Well, yeah, she's pretty young, and she says it just hit me how hard it's going to be separated from him. Any advice on how to deal with a long distance relationship? So they've established their relationship. He's going away for 3 months.
3 months is a long time. How old is she?
She's 18.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's like a teenage. That's a long time in teenage years. That's like dog years. That's like 3.5 years he just left for.
Yeah.
I think honestly, the best thing about technology is that it does shorten that distance, and we've seen that with
Sure.
social media. There's a lot of downsides of social media, but the beauty of it is you feel like you're constantly connected. Like I feel like I'm completely caught up with your life at most times because of social media,
Right.
where I don't see you all the time or years in between. So they only have 3 months minus the dog year calculation. FaceTime, Skype, do all the things that make you still feel like you're together. And just make sure that line of communication stays open. I think you can still nurture a relationship from afar, especially if it has a foundation on it.
Right.
So the more that you can actually stay connected, not just on text, I think that's where people kind of lose. Text loses so much emotion, right?
Completely.
Like if I text you something, yeah, you might smile, you might laugh, you might feel, a heartwarming, but it's not going to have the same emotion as if I saw your face.
Right. At least send me an emoji. I mean, something.
Yeah,
Give me
like a
something.
Bitmoji. I just changed my Bitmoji's outfit because it's summertime now. Just want to let you know. Everybody
You better
wants-
send me a Bitmoji
Everybody
right
wanted
after
to know
this.
about my Bitmoji's new threads.
But I just want to offer one little piece of advice on top of that, to remember that he is away with his family and he's doing his thing and you got to do your thing. So don't get all caught up in like, when are you going to FaceTime with me? I haven't talked to you in 3 hours. Like it can't be like it was necessarily at home. Like give him enough space.
Relax, girl.
But then stay connected. Yeah.
If you let something, what's that phrase? If you
love something,
let it go.
go.
And if it loves you, it'll come back.
Yes.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Maybe there's a food analogy for that. I don't know. Okay, this is an interesting question. This comes to us from a guy. I love it when you guys send me the questions. But the guy is asking about a female friend, asking for a friend. He's 24. He says, okay, my female friend is with someone in quotes, but has only signed divorce papers 3 months ago, and she begged him to stay, but she's only been talking to this new guy for about a month. And just the other day, she started calling him husband material.
Oh.
She won't listen to me, but this looks bad, and I don't want this to end up bad for her.
For a friend.
For a friend. No, I feel
Really
like
is for a friend?
it really is for a friend, but I'm like, this guy clearly was trying to get in there.
Yeah,
He clearly
he
has
lost
feelings
out.
for her.
Yeah.
And then she just jumped into this other relationship, and he's like, how do I break this up? But you're not going to break it up being the sore loser, right?
No, but she was begging the husband to stay.
Begging the husband to stay, and then 3 months ago signed the divorce papers.
It's tough.
She seems complicated.
She seems like she needs a timeout. Girl
Right.
needs to be put in a corner for a minute.
Can he get involved in that, though?
No, I don't think he should get involved in any of that. I think he needs to let that second relationship blow up if it's meant to blow up. But it sounds like she doesn't like to be alone.
Right.
And I don't know that that's the healthiest relationship for anybody. So
Yeah.
I think he needs to step away. She needs a timeout. And the whole dating after divorce thing, just a side note, because I get that question a lot. Is this too soon? Was this crazy that somebody jumps into a relationship? And it really matters on how you left the last one. So if you're getting divorced and you've processed everything, maybe you worked with someone and you feel good coming out of it and you feel like you've worked through all your emotions, I see people come into very successful non-rebound relationships. That's a little bit more concerning if she was begging to stay, the guy left, and all of a sudden she's jumped into something else.
Yeah. And then if you just let that relationship blow up, like you said, then who's going to be there to pick up the pieces?
Oh, jeez, that's a lot of pieces.
You are, my friend, my 24-year-old friend. Okay. One more question. This is a little more open-ended, Rachel.
Okay.
So this is tips on flirting with a guy. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. 4 question marks. Super bad at that. And how can I keep conversation with him in person? So it looks like she's talking about tips on flirting digitally and then tips on flirting face-to-face. And you,
Got
I
it.
know, have a long history of being a flirting expert.
Wrote the book.
So give us your wisdom, Rachel DeAlto.
I think the thing on texting, one, stop writing books. Oh my God. How many times does someone send you something like, can I send this? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Is it more than 2 sentences? Because you need to stop. So keep it light and fun when you're texting with someone. Don't get into these deeper conversations on text. So if she's asking about flirting with a guy over text, keep it light and simple. They are visual. So like, everybody's taking selfies. We're a bunch of narcissists nowadays. Send them a picture if you look cute. Have all your clothes on.
I was going to say, not a nude.
Not a nude. But send pictures. Be light and flirty. Let him take the lead. Be supportive. Like, do all the things that just make him feel good. And I don't mean that sexually. But when it
Make him
comes
feel
to,
like you're giving him attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to be seen, loves to be heard. So do all those things over text. When you're in person, it really goes down to all of the things that make you feel good. So when I know for me, when someone's paying attention to me, it feels good, right? When you ask questions, when you smile, when you make eye contact, when you touch each other.
We're having like a great date right now.
We are. We're so.
We have great eye contact.
I'm telling you, I think I might
I'm
get
listening.
lucky.
Don't give the people at home any ideas.
I went on my first date with my boyfriend, and then he didn't realize what I did until he got home, and then he Googled me, and he's like, "You didn't flirt with me at all."
Oh, no.
He's like, "What? I don't even know if you enjoyed it." He's like, "You didn't touch me." And we totally made eye contact and laughed the whole time.
But
I
you
was-
have to like play it down
I
when
get
when
it.
people have seen you on TV and they know you do this sort of thing.
Jeez.
You can't come out of the gate with all your good
No,
stuff. You have to,
exactly. Gotta
you
hold
have to
back a
let
little
him work
bit.
for it a little bit.
Yeah, but
Probably better that he didn't know though.
thank God. Jeez.
It's very intimidating for a lot
Hard
of dating
enough.
coach friends of mine
Yeah, it's
when people
really
know.
bizarre, really bizarre. But I think the more comfortable that you are with yourself, the easier it is to flirt. So the more that you can spend building yourself up, feeling empowered, feel good about what you're wearing, where you're going, just feeling good in your own skin, it kind of comes naturally at that point.
I believe that, but I have worked with some people, particularly guys, that when you say like, if you feel good, you'll look good and you'll flirt well, and then they're like, I just don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Are there any technical tips that you give people? Like, I'm a big fan of the touch him or her playfully, like when they make a comment that you like or think is funny, and get that
Yes.
get that physical barrier broken.
I love that. I love touch. Non-creepy touch is awesome.
Non-creepy.
Everything starting kind of with the forearm. Don't go to the knee right away because
hell
that can
no.
feel too much. You can work your way up depending on the reaction. Pay attention to the reaction. I think the biggest thing, if it's not natural for a guy, the best thing he can do is watch and mirror. So whatever they're doing,
yeah.
mirroring the way that they're talking to you, mirroring some of the conversation, but also mirroring your body language so that they feel naturally. Because there's a subconscious way that we react to someone when they're mirroring our body language. So that the fact that we're like kind of facing each other in the same direction, like it feels more welcoming. So there's so many things that, yes, tactically you can do without being like a total pickup artist.
Oh yeah, I don't do
gross.
the pickup artist stuff.
Don't do it.
And texting and flirting is a really key thing. And I want to also encourage people to use humor.
Yeah.
And sometimes the humor doesn't
you're
match,
funny.
but then but you just pick a GIF, pick an emoji, like add to the conversation
I thought
somehow.
it was Jif.
I always say GIF.
I don't know.
I don't know. Can we
get a poll over here?
get a poll? Send me
Your
your
like a GIF. I was like,
spell it out for me
what's that?
phonetically in an email when you send me your questions for a future show. Damona@damonahoffman.com. Rachel DeAlto, you are such a joy to have
So
on the
are
show.
you.
I hope you'll come back the next time you're in town.
Obviously.
Or anytime.
All the time.
We can have you via Skype, via satellite. I've always wanted to say that.
via satellites.
See, and I said via.
Oh.
See now?
my
Tomato,
God.
tomato, GIF.
Weird. Just
Via
on
via.
Totally different pages.
It's like I don't even know you. No, I totally know you, and I totally know you have the best dating advice around, and you can get your own dating advice from her at racheldealto.com, and I'll spell that again, RACHELDEALTO. Thank you so much for being here, Rachel.
Thanks for having me. Ta-da!
Welcome back to Dates and Mates. I hope you enjoyed my interview with Rachel DeAlto, and I hope you got a lot of advice you can use, news you can use, right, Producer
There you
Thomas? Well, the show is not over. We still have much more to discuss. I mentioned earlier today that today is summer solstice. Welcome to summer, y'all. This is a time when a lot of people are ready to party.
Indeed.
So you probably have been reading a lot of the news of celebrity breakups, celebrity hookups. There's a lot of movement in the dating and relationship space. A lot of people have hit the headlines. Andrew Garfield, he's single and ready to mingle,
There you go,
right?
Jinx.
Josh Groban, who I would
We
do
apparently
a
were-
hookup, but we already did a Hollywood hookup for him
Many moons ago.
back in August. Yeah, he hit the presses again because of the Tony Awards. But okay, we gotta give the slot though to somebody who's really deserving. And I'm particularly excited to give this lady a little bit of the spotlight because she's had quite a year. She's had a lot of big ups and a few big downs. And so her divorce was just finalized today. So why not put this lady into the mix? Mary J. Blige, it's your turn for a Hollywood hookup. I took my hair down for those of you watching on the video live stream. It's business time. I need to really put on my matchmaking shoes for this lady. Let me tell you a little bit about her. I mean, obviously, you guys know Mary J. Blige, but she is an American singer, songwriter, rapper, and actress. So many accolades. This lady is definitely on track to get an EGOT because in her 47 years on this earth, she has garnered Academy Award nominations. She had one this past year, not just for Best Supporting Actress, but also for Best Song for Mudbound. She wrote a song for Mudbound, and she was in it. And she got, I mean, it's not easy to get an Academy Award nomination, one of them. She had two of them. She's also had Golden Globe nominations. She's had Grammy wins and so much more. I mean, this is a catch, Mary J. Blige. And let me tell you a bit about her ex-husband as of today. Kendu Isaacs was married to her for 12 years. And you might remember we covered, I think, last summer when they were first breaking up. He asked for a whopping $30K in spousal support. And he said, I cannot bear to keep my lifestyle without. And he was like, this is just not enough. I can't live my life. In our $12 million New Jersey mansion, I cannot live the lifestyle to which I have been accustomed. And Mary J is like, She fought it. She's like, I'm not trying to pay this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, they were in debt. She's had it pretty rough. They were in debt, and she says he was a big reason for it. Producer Thomas, he spent $420,000 allegedly on an affair. On traveling to and from and buying this girl
so
some.
She doesn't know anything.
Yeah. So obviously they worked it all out because the divorce is final today. But I thought, all right, these two have irreconcilable differences. But Mary J. deserves someone that's going to be at her level, someone that's going to take care of her, someone that's going to appreciate all of her many talents and really elevate her. So, I was kind of going through the roles of single millionaires, billionaires. Turns out there aren't that many, but I'm sure if anyone can find them, it's Mary J. Blige. And I think she lives in New York. I mean, they just sold their New Jersey. They took a bath on their New Jersey mansion that they sold. But now I guess she's a free bird. So if she's in New York, I'm sure there's a lot of businessmen that maybe are not on the radar. But there are also some single celebrities. If she wants to come out here to the West,
she could.
We could do a little hookup for her. So here's what I think, Producer Thomas. Yes. I think she needs someone that has some funds, right?
Yeah.
Someone that's really successful, someone who will support her creative endeavors. What ideas do you have?
My idea is in terms of which person to match her with.
She's going to hook up with.
I think
let's hook her
Lenny
up.
Kravitz would be a good pick. I
Lenny
think that
Kravitz.
he kind of fits her history of dating people in the music industry. She seems to have a preference for kind of people in the same creative space as her, we can say. He's a schnazzy guy. He's a well-established musician, dresses very nicely, and he's also recently single, I believe, as of last fall. So I think they'd be great together.
We could, at the very least, do a little collabo.
Yeah.
I'd buy that album,
yeah,
right?
that'd be good.
Well, I had a creative pick as well. Not someone from the music industry. I think that's really hard to make work. We talked about that with Iggy Azalea a while ago.
That's true, yeah.
It's hard to make it work, but what if she dated an actor? What if she dated an actor who has a net worth of $42 million? What if she went with Dennis Haysbert, who you probably remember from 24? I mean, he's had many other great roles since then. He's the Allstate guy. He's cashing those checks. There he is as the president of the United States on 24. So he has a little bit of pedigree. And I think also he could boost her caliber as a serious actor. She was in Precious. She was in Mudbound. She's doing these serious roles. And I still feel like people, even with her Academy Award nomination, are not really taking her seriously as an actor. Maybe if she got together with a serious actor, that could elevate her status in that way.
Yeah.
All right, Mary J. Blige, those are our picks.
Those are the picks. Listen up here.
We wish you lots of luck and congratulations on the first day of the rest of your life.
There you go.
That's our show for today. If you have a question, we would love to hear it. I'd love to get you some help in love and relationships. You can email me, Damona@DamonaHoffman.com, or follow me on any of the social medias and send me a DM. Let me know what's on your mind at Damona Hoffman. And you can get your little packet from Adam and Eve, whatever you want in that, with a little bit of gifts to go at adamandeve.com. Use the offer code GIFT21 to get your free shipping and all those goodies. You can download the Techspert app and the App Store. And I want to let you know that this is our last week. Next week is our last show before our summer hiatus. Actually, it's the first hiatus that we've done in 3 years. So sorry, I got to take a little hiatus. We're going to do some refresh of the show. It's going to be bigger, better, badder, everything. Not badder in the bad way, badder in like Michael Jackson way. So next week is the last show of the season. Then we'll be back in August with lots of exciting updates. So leave us a review in the meantime. Let us know what segments that you love so we can keep making the dates and mates that you love and make the show even better and better. And tell a friend, share it so they can binge watch and be ready for more dates and mates in August. So we will be back next week. I have a really juicy show lined up for you today with some big luminaries joining me in the studio. So tune in next week. But until then, I wish you happy dating.